Hello, my name is Steve Lombardo, Group Vice President of Sales for Star Manufacturing, APW Wyatt, and Baker's Pride Group. Today we're going to show you how to service and troubleshoot our two-sided grills. These are our models GR14 SPTK and PSC14 DTB as used by KFC and Taco Bell. How to replace the top probe. Disconnect the unit from its power source. Remove the grease drawer. Flip the unit upside down to get access to the bottom of the unit. Remove the 4 feet and remove the 5 Phillips screws on the bottom cover and remove the cover. Disconnect the probe wires from the control board using needle nose pliers. To check whether the probe is good, check the continuity and confirm it has failed, which essentially reads open on the ohmmeter. Feed the probe wires out of the control heat shield opening one at a time by pushing the terminal through the opening. Do not pull the wires through the opening as you may remove the terminal by accident. Disconnect the element wire from the relay. Then disconnect an element wire from the terminal block with a Phillips screwdriver. Cut wire ties from the wire bundle. Next, remove the conduit nut from the top housing conduit with needle nose pliers and slide the nut from the wires. Remove top housing conduit and wires from the lower grill body. Place the bottom cover back onto the grill base and secure with the 4 feet only. Flip the unit over onto its feet, being careful to hold on to the 2 top lids so they don't spring open during the process. Remove 2 7/16 inch cap nuts, 2 lock washers, and 2 1/4-20 Phillips screws from the metal conduit retainer. Then pull the metal conduit from the top housing block with a little bit of a twist. Next, remove the 4 5/16 inch screws from the top platen. Remove the top platen from housing while holding on to the front handle. Pull the element and probe wires toward the top casting, opening top housing to relieve wire strain. Loosen probe clamp with 1/4 inch nut driver and remove probe from top casting. Next, we're going to remove the top housing block by removing the 4 Phillips head screws on the bottom of the top housing. Then remove the top housing block. To remove the probe, slide it through the top housing and top housing block. Feed the new probe through the conduit assembly, probe end first, into the sleeving, through the top housing block, and into the top housing. Verify sleeving is protruding a minimum of 1 inch from inside the top housing and out of the top housing block. Reattach the top housing block using the 4 Phillips head screws previously removed. Before inserting the probe into the top casting, coat it with thermal paste. Then insert the probe in the casting and secure the probe clamp tightened with a 1/4 inch nut driver. Feed the remaining element wires through the conduit assembly. Next, reinstall the conduit assembly. Tuck sleeving into the metal conduit and reinsert the metal conduit into the top housing block. Twisting the conduit helps. Secure the conduit assembly to the counterbalance with 2 1/4-20 Phillips screws, 2 internal lock washers, and 2 7/16 caps. Pull the handle down and pull the excess wire from the top housing. It is critical to leave minimum of 1 inch slack in the top housing for element wires and probe wires to prevent wire strain. Reattach the platen to the top housing, secured with 4 5/16 inch screws. Next, lower both top housings. Then flip the unit upside down, being careful to hold on to both top housings while doing so. Remove the 4 feet and the bottom cover. Feed the element and probe wires through the opening in the rear of the grill body. Install a conduit nut over the wires, teeth on nut towards the sheet metal, and secure the conduit to the grill body. Tighten with the needle nose plier. Feed the probe wires through the control heat shield opening, pushing through the opening by the terminals, and then reconnect the probe wires to the control board. When reconnecting the terminals to the control board, always refer to the wiring diagram to ensure you connected them to the right locations. Next, reconnect the element wire to the relay and ensure it's fully seated. Then, reconnect the element wire to the terminal block, tighten with a Phillips screwdriver. Next, verify all screws are tight on the terminal block with a Phillips screwdriver. Retie all the wire ties into bundles, ensuring no wires are close to the element. Flip the unit over onto its feet, being careful to hold on to the two top lids so they don't spring open during the process. Plug the unit into the power supply. The two-sided grills produced since September of 2018 feature a diagnostics tool to ensure the wiring is correct to all of the internal components. To run the diagnostics, with the power off, press and hold the first button on the left display and turn the power on. The diagnostics feature will test the bottom platen first, the top left platen second, and the top right platen third. If all three zones are correct, the display will show PAS. If there is a wiring issue, the display will show FAIL. When the test of each individual zone is complete, press the first button to begin the test of the next zone. At the completion of testing of all three zones, turn the unit off and turn it back on again for normal operation.